Hello there, my name is Salil Pai. I'm a Life Scout with Boy Scout Troop 101 in Greensboro, North Carolina, and this video is part of the Cyber Eagle initiative, my Eagle project. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you take the information that you learn from it and put it into practice.
Alright, time for some income tax filing. Too bad my CPA's in the hospital or I wouldn't do it online. Let's see, how to file income taxes online. Now here's a way to do it. Tax Filer X, the best system there is. This will be perfect. Might as well get some bank stuff done as well. There's so much you can do with this computer. This is nice. Just relaxing, house to myself. Now might be a good time to check on my bank account to see if I have any money for that auto repair. What the? Balance of 0.
It was at this moment that he knew. He screwed up.
Do you want this to happen to you? Probably not. In our changing world, computers and the internet have a bigger and bigger role in our lives. We rely on computers for many things, from playing Minecraft to filing tax forms. However, with changing society comes changing criminals, those who seek to exploit others, whether it be emptying their bank accounts or ruining their lives. Now they can do it with a simple laptop and some skills. Just about everyone today has a computer or a smartphone. But most don't really they don't understand how much private information is on their phones, including credit/debit card information, passwords, and more. Today we're going to teach you some tips on how you can improve your cyber hygiene and not end up like this guy. Spoiler alert, he was innocent. Now let's go back in time and stop him.
Alright, time for some income tax filing. Too bad my CPA's in the hospital or I wouldn't do it online. Let's see. How to file income taxes online. Now here's a way to do it. Tax Filer X, the best system there is.
Stop! Don't do it!
Who are you?
You know what happens in the future? You lose all your money.
What?
You, sir, have no idea how computers and the internet works. Do
I
you?
know lots of stuff.
Such as?
Well, I can download apps and I can use incognito mode.
Well, that's not much in terms of cyber defense.
Okay, I don't know anything.
Well, let's start from the beginning. First off, passcodes. What password do you have on your phone?
1, 2, 3, 4. My other one's a pattern. It's a square with a cut in it.
First of all, for your phone, you should always use a numeric password, an alphanumeric password, with letters and numbers. I personally recommend an alphanumeric code in the form of a unique password or passphrase, which I'll get to in a bit. For the numeric password, use a 6-digit option rather than a 4-digit. The 4-digit has a total of 10,000 combinations, while the 6-digit has 100,000 combinations. That's an increase of 2 orders of magnitude.
What about biometrics, like facial scanning and fingerprints?
Well, those are also good, especially in a public setting. I say this because when you're unlocking your phone, it's harder for a potential thief to try and break into your phone after stealing it. Especially because they just saw you scan your thumb rather than enter your passcode.
What about emails and other accounts?
Well, in that case, your passwords are all only alphanumeric. In these cases, it's often better to just use a passphrase.
I'm guessing that's some sort of random phrase that functions as a password?
Exactly. It's a good idea to not use some well-known phrase, such as kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Not a word, PETA. Or use piece of cake, as most people know such phrases. It's better to make up your own phrase. 1, because it's easier to remember than some overcomplicated password with a bunch of symbols and punctuation. And 2, since the passphrase is alphanumeric, there are many, many more combinations that a hacker would need to go through to break in, thus making the password more secure. Remember this, password length matters because every new character in a password increases the new number of combinations a hacker has to go through by an order of magnitude.
Can I make it more complicated by adding in spaces, punctuation, and capitalization?
Yeah, you can. It's more advisable to do that. But remember, it might make remembering it a little harder, so be wary. Also, never use the same password across different accounts. That makes it easier for the hacker to break into multiple accounts or devices.
I heard of something called multi-factor authentication. What is that?
That's just having 2 or more steps to unlock an account. Think of it as having several locks to the same door. For example, for one email, you might have to insert your password and then enter a verification code sent to another email or your phone. This is especially useful for high priority accounts where this can be done, such as a work email or personal finance account, including your bank.
What about password managers? Are those a good idea? Because I heard about those at work and I'm considering using one, especially given what you said about different strong passwords.
Ah, yes, password managers. They can be a double-edged sword. While they can't help you keep your passwords within arm's reach, they do possess a security issue. Have you ever heard the proverb about keeping all your eggs in one basket? Same principle. It's easier for you to focus efforts on defending your passwords, whereas there's the risk of having all of your accounts tracked with the manager being compromised or lost. Cybercriminals could break your password manager, or you could even forget your master password.
What if I backed up files in case they get corrupted, compromised, or straight up lost because I had to purge my computer?
Oh, you understand something about this?
What? I paid attention to my parents when they gave me that talk about responsibility. It might be the only thing I remember.
Whatever the case, you're absolutely right. It's a very good idea to have some sort of redundant storage of critical information. Having backups that are not on your computer or a cloud, such as on paper or an external hard drive. Digital files on a hard drive must be secured, however, as an extra precaution.
There is no perfect system, is there? Based on what you're saying, there's a risk in just about every strategy. Guess it's better than no strategy, right?
Absolutely right. See, you're learning something.
Let's move on to something I know a bit more about, since we may as well just do a cybersecurity overhaul. What about social media?
Good question. Social media is very interesting. There's many ways you can communicate and express yourself, such as GIFs, photos, and videos. However,
Let me guess. It's a double-edged sword.
A+ for you, buddy. Exactly right. You want to be very, very careful, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. It's a good idea to apply strong privacy settings. You should know who is looking at what you post. It's usually a good idea to be able to know with full confidence who subscribes to your account and when they do it.
But I want my Instagram account to be public. So what then?
You can do that, but take great care. Watch out for scammers that try to communicate with you, and catfish accounts, impersonators of others via social media. And if someone sends you a message, especially if it's someone you don't know, you want to check if you're being catfished. First, don't reply. Try using Google Images to see if it's a fake account. Copy and paste that image into the search bar. You'll know it's a fake account if the name of the person linked to the image is not the person in the image.
Let's go off book here. What if maybe I don't trust Google Images 100%? Let's say I want two-step verification. What then?
Improper use of the term, but that's a good way of thinking about it. Send a simple request, a picture of them performing a specific yet incredibly random action, while their face is shown. For example, send a request for a photo of them crossing their arm behind their ears, and then covering their ears while their arms are still crossed. The face must be shown while folding the photo.
I get it. So ridiculous there's almost no chance of finding such a photo of whoever the catfisher is trying to impersonate. How do I make sure that if it is the real person, that a catfisher can't find that verification photo?
Make a different request every time. Make sure they send it through a direct message. Also, it's quite likely the catfisher will panic and try to blame you once they've been exposed. When that occurs, block them or report them. It's a public account. Follow the grandma rule.
Right. Don't post it if you don't want your grandmother seeing it. I remember when Mom told me that.
Look at you, picking up knowledge. Let's talk about Wi-Fi. You're going to want to make some changes to your SSID and WPA settings.
In English, please?
Oh, sorry. Your SSID is the name of your network. Yours is 456787912 and has no password. While changing the SSID is not a game changer regarding security, it is helpful for the sake of remembering it and convenience. Because that will be useful for the next step, making it a hidden network. However, don't make the network anything that connect directly to you, such as your name, license plate, address, etc. Make sure your network is hidden, is allowed for it to not immediately appear in the available networks for Wi-Fi. And you have to manually enter it. You have to consult your internet provider on how to do this.
Remember to call them. I should also make sure the password or passphrase is a good, secure one like you said earlier, correct?
Absolutely right. But be advised, when contacting tech support, remember, they do not contact you first. If you've received a call or email from someone claiming to be tech support or whatever issue you're trying to fix, don't talk. It's a scammer. You call the company first. Make sure to use the official phone number that's found on the official company website.
What did you mean earlier when you said WPA?
WPA means Wi-Fi Protected Access. It's basically a security level for your Wi-Fi digital network. The difference between these security settings and their timer is in their time of release. The most recent released versions, mainly the WPA2 or the WPA3, are the best settings that should be enabled, as more recent versions have more security measures and helpful software than previous versions.
I better remember that. What else is there for me to know regarding internet access?
I'll go over the easy one first. Browser privacy settings. Wipe the history of the browser after every use, erasing everything, including any cookies or tracking software implanted by the website. The use of a privacy/incognito mode helps with this.
Quick note, what flavor are the cookies?
There is no flavor. They're just packets of information that are used by websites, and legitimate ones use cookies to try and enable the best experience for the consumer. Be aware that when you enter most websites today, they will implant cookies or some sort of tracking software. Again, even if it's for a legitimate reason by a legitimate entity. However, you are still giving up privacy, so be aware of this. Nonetheless, it's good to clear everything and reload cookies or plugins when necessary, while maintaining caution. Not only does this help erase your digital trail, it also actually allows for your computer system to run faster, as it doesn't have to deal with reloading saved cookies. Also, manually log out of every single account you use once you're done with them.
I think I understand. What about when I need to install a plugin or enable some other thing like Flash?
Be extremely careful about when you enable Flash or plugins, and try to set your browser to always ask before plugins are enabled. Only enable it on trusted websites. As always, when you exit, remember to delete the plugins and have your history of Flash removed. Plugins can be found under downloads and the download sections of your computer, so remember to delete them.
Back to internet access. What about doing it on the go outside of my own personal Wi-Fi network?
Never use unsecured networks, especially if you have to access secretive files or accounts. And this includes corporate accounts for your work, cyber criminals who camp, not literally, outside of unsecured network areas, such as coffee shops and airports, can take advantage of this and break in. Now, it's fine to use public Wi-Fi for something that doesn't compromise you, such as surfing the internet. However, if you're going to access important financial info or something else just as important, don't use public Wi-Fi.
Are there any other methods? Maybe cellular data?
Yep, it's a pretty good idea to have a dedicated wireless hotspot for internet access. For this, make sure that you have a hotspot password that is strong. And if you'd like, change the name of your hotspot so that if you activate it in public for some reason, and if a stranger sees it who is activating, they're not just going to know your real name, as some phones, and thus the hotspots, have a default name, which is your name, then phone. Again, a hotspot is only really necessary for accessing important information in a public or otherwise unknown setting. But seriously, taxes, bank account management, or anything on the same tier of importance should not be done in a public setting anyway.
Why not? If I have a cellular data, VPN, private browser, etc. combo, I should be safe, right?
Yes, but remember that people can always look over your shoulder and see stuff. They can also just straight up steal your computer and phone. For this reason, you have to keep your electronic devices with you at all times in public places, such as airports. That, or you need to have someone that you trust to help you watch your stuff if you go somewhere. You should also be able to trust this person with your life, as you are likely leaving them with your information that in the wrong hands could destroy you utterly.
Oh, makes sense. What if I'm entering some sort of sensitive information on a computer that isn't mine?
That depends. Work or public?
Each one.
Okay, so typically it's not the greatest idea to use your work computer for entering personal information. However, sometimes it is allowed for it. Ask your boss.
Public computers?
Okay, never enter private information into public computers, such as those found in a public library or a hotel business center. Those are unsecured, and any criminal stalking around will be able to relatively easily trace your steps and steal your information.
I get what you're saying. What else is there?
This one may get a bit weird. It's regarding your software.
Go ahead. I'm just going to keep nodding like I understand what you're saying.
It's not that bad. Just keep your systems updated. For this, go to your computer settings and check the updates. It's usually a good idea to check every couple of weeks at a minimum, and as well as to turn on automatic updates if possible. Older, outdated software is often more vulnerable to attacks, and newer software often comes out with some security fixes.
I'm assuming there's something else.
Yeah, secure your computer with security software. For this, there are two main options: firewalls and anti-malware software.
I've heard of firewalls. Apparently China has a huge one. The Great Firewall.
That's a discussion for another day. Firewalls actually don't secure connections, per se, as much as they block them. Think of it as this way. Picture a wall. One section has an automated gate with an ID scanner, only allowing in some people. The other section has a gate that's not as tough to enter, but it is also watched by a team of armed guards that primarily watches over what happens within the wall, putting a stop to anything dangerous or unwanted. That's the best way to differentiate between firewalls and anti-malware software, as well as identify their general roles. Firewalls block open ports through which unauthorized incoming information can enter, helping to block hackers and malicious attacks. However, a firewall can be indiscriminate, avoid a block. For this reason, it's often good to pair it with an anti-malware software. So if your computer gets infected with a virus or other malware, the malware will be detected and removed. It can also block some unauthorized entry of information. One such anti-malware software is Malwarebytes, though there are 100 that can be used. Just make sure to check the company's reputation and its reviews to know which are legitimate and which are effective.
Do you really need both?
Well, no. A firewall and an anti-malware software are extremely effective together. But if you can only have one, just get the anti-malware software.
Good idea. I'll download it right now.
Whoa, hold it.
Do you want me to download the software or not?
Yes, but hold on. Installing any sort of application, from Angry Birds to Malwarebytes, can be a risk, as cybercriminals can give ways to download apps, say for free, and use them as bait. Only download and install applications from trusted sources. In this case, you have to do it from the official app store or from the official company website. Additionally, adjust your privacy settings. Never give apps access to microphone, camera, contacts, location, etc. For location, just activate it when necessary and leave it off otherwise. As for the rest, if you must provide access, either do it when necessary or watch which apps have access.
Okay, I'll get it from the official website. Here it is. It says I need to make an account.
For making any sort of account, be extremely careful. Only give it information that is absolutely necessary. Additionally, the same way you have a separate work and personal accounts, it's a good idea to have a junk account, one which is used for other organizations or products and thus separates you from your work and personal accounts. In some cases, you can even avoid giving your real name, birth date, and more.
Wow. Thank you for all your advice.
Do you have a job that requires the use of a computer in any way? Click here to watch our video on cyber defense tips for workers. Please make sure to like the video and share it with everyone you know. We want as many people possible watching these videos and learning from them. Once again, thank you so much for watching and hope you have a great day.